Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. Smackdown tonight was from the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this was night one of the 2024 WWE Draft taking place on Smackdown tonight, where the last night will take place this Monday on Raw for the 2024 WWE Draft. And Smackdown tonight, I thought it was an okay show. I thought it was better than Raw on Monday and, of course, Dynamite on Wednesday. But the draft, I thought, was awful, in my opinion. I mean, we had some, call-ups from NXT that were drafted from NXT to, Raw or SmackDown. But overall, some of the superstars on Raw and SmackDown just stayed the same. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And that's what the draft was tonight. But anyways, aside from the draft, on SmackDown tonight we had Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They have taken on Humberto and Angel Garza. Bron Breakker was in action, and he had taken on Cedric Alexandra. We had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. And in the main event, Cody Rhodes ended up taking on Carmelo Hayes, to which I'll say it right now, Carmelo Hayes is, drafted to SmackDown, and he will, without a doubt, be big on SmackDown. He's going to do, very good for SmackDown. I'm a fan of Carmelo Hayes. Very good in the ring, very talented. But overall, SmackDown tonight, okay show, aside from the awful draft so far. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton was backstage with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman ended up telling Kayla Braxton that there are no rumors about Roman Reigns, and that there are facts. Paul Heyman ended up saying that Roman Reigns has withdrawn from eligibility from the draft. So pretty much this is basically telling us that Roman Reigns is a free agent. So Paul Heyman ended up saying it is not a negative, it is a positive. He ended up saying that Roman Reigns built SmackDown since the pandemic, and that he is the biggest star in the industry. He ended up asking why Roman would hog the number one draft pick and the spotlight when he won't be returning in the immediate future. He ended up saying that is not what a real tribal chief would do. Paul Heyman ended up saying that instead, the pressure is on Nick Aldis, because if Roman Reigns is not the first draft pick, who is the first draft pick? So Paul Heyman ended up saying that he is intrigued, and pretty much that was basically that. So Roman Reigns, free agent. He has withdrawn from eligibility in the 2024 WWE Draft. And then we went to Jackie Redmond. She was inside the NXT Performance Center in Florida, in Orlando. Jackie Redmond ended up saying that last year, Grayson Waller wished he would be drafted. And of course, look at Grayson Waller now. He is a tag team champion, along with Austin Theory. So, we saw the, NXT Performance Center, some of the NXT superstars there. You had the crowd in the background. And then we went back to the ring. And we saw Corey Graves. Corey Graves was in the ring for the contract signing between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed WWE Championship, match at Backlash in France. So he was in the ring. Two tables were behind Corey Graves. Corey Graves welcomed everyone to the draft. He ended up saying that he will be monitoring the contract signing for the undisputed WWE Championship match at Backlash. So Corey Graves first introduced AJ Styles. Styles ended up coming out. We heard his awful theme music. It just makes me miss, they don't want none. Oh, they don't want none. It makes me miss Styles' old theme. So we had Cody Rhodes end up coming out next. Cody got a big pop, undisputed WWE champion. Crowd went, whoa, of course. So Cody placed the title on the podium in the middle of the ring, and he took a seat on one side of the ring. Styles was on the other side. So fans were chanting for Cody. Styles had the contract. He read through it. Styles ended up saying that before he signs the contract, he ended up saying that they have two Georgia boys for the first time for the biggest prize in the game. Styles ended up saying that he can understand why the crowd boos him, but they have to know that he does not respect LA Knight, and that Knight got under his skin. He ended up saying that is why he lost at WrestleMania. But what happened was he got his composure back, and he realized that he is phenomenal. Styles ended up saying that he beat Knight to earn the right to fight Cody at Backlash. But unlike Knight, he respects Cody. So Styles ended up saying that they have been down the same roads, and they have to prove themselves outside of WWE. He ended up saying that he is willing to believe that the same man who gave him advice a long time ago gave him that same advice. He ended up saying how to be their own man, and he goes by the name of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So the crowd started chanting for, Dusty, the late great Dusty Rhodes. Styles ended up saying that he learned a lot from Dusty, and that he was a good man. He ended up saying that he taught him how to carry himself, and how to carry the weight of a champion. Styles then looked at the undisputed WWE Championship. He ended up saying that, he looks at it, and the weight of this isn't just of leather and gold. He ended up saying that at Backlash, they're going to see if Cody can carry it. So Styles then signed the contract. Corey Graves ended up giving the contract to Cody for Cody to sign it. So Cody got on the mic. He ended up asking Cincinatti what do they want to talk about. Cody did his whole shtick. So Cody ended up saying, well, we can talk about respect, and that there is not a locker room that you will find where every single person, they all respect Styles. Cody ended up saying that last week he said Styles was the modern day excellence of execution. He ended up saying that they respect each other. But at Backlash, that will be put aside. Cody ended up saying that he thinks Styles is implying that he cannot carry the weight of the championship. He ended up saying that the person who trained him once told him that it is not about winning the title. It is about keeping it. Cody ended up saying that he respects Styles, but when he signs it at Backlash, no matter how phenomenal Styles is, this is not a dream match for him, but a must-win. So Cody then signed the contract. Both Cody and Styles stood up. Cody extended his hand out for Styles to shake. And Styles ended up telling Cody it was a beautiful thing to see him finish the story and get the championship. He ended up saying, but it is a shame that his title reign is going to end at Backlash. So both Cody and Styles shook hands. Styles left the ring. Fans were booing Styles. So Cody's music ended up hitting. He lifted the undisputed WWE Championship up, and he left the ring. Cody walked up the ramp, and we had Triple H's music ended up hitting. Triple H came out, and Triple H ended up shaking Cody's hand. Cody ended up joining Triple H on the podium on the ramp for the first round of the 2024 WWE Draft. Triple H ended up welcoming everyone to it. Triple H ended up saying that champions are protected. And Cody will be staying on SmackDown. I'm not surprised there. So Triple H ended up saying that he thought maybe Cody could read the SmackDown picks, and he will read the Raw picks. So that's what happened. Cody ended up reading the SmackDown picks. Triple H read the picks for Raw. So these were the first round draft picks for Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown ended up picking Bianca Belair. No surprise. Raw ended up picking main event Jey Uso. Wasn't surprised there. SmackDown ended up picking Carmelo Hayes. So Carmelo Hayes coming up from NXT to SmackDown. That surprised me. And it's going to be good, to see Carmelo Hayes, on SmackDown. He's going to be big. Hopefully they give him a nice push. And then Raw ended up picking Seth Rollins. Wasn't surprised. The only thing that I was surprised here in the first round was Carmelo Hayes. Everyone else, Bianca Belair, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, they're all staying on their brands. God. So then Carmelo Hayes ended up coming out. Carmelo Hayes got on the mic. He ended up telling Cody that ever since he won the title, he kept saying, if you come for the king, you best not miss. He ended up saying that the thing about him is when he shoots, he doesn't miss. Carmelo ended up saying that as a first round draft pick, he can't think of a better way than to shoot a shot on SmackDown, than to shoot it against Cody. So Cody then ended up telling Carmelo that the fans don't want to see him in action tonight, do they? So the fans end up cheering. He ended up saying, what if he forgot his gear? And to which the fans end up booing. So Cody ended up saying that he didn't forget his gear. And the championship for him means that Carmelo is on. So both Cody and Carmelo end up shaking hands. And pretty much that was basically that. So the main event we had Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes. But overall, I thought this was a good start to the show. Get the contract signing, over with. Styles, cut a good promo there. And, they both did well. Styles and Cody end up doing well and talking about respect. And, of course, their upcoming match at Backlash next Saturday. And the first picks of the 2024 WWE Draft, just, the only thing that I was surprised with, like I said, was Carmelo Hayes. Everyone else is staying on their brands. And then we had Humberto Carrillo and Angel of Legado del Fantasma versus Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio of the LWO. And this was a decent match here. Match ended up getting underway with Humberto and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee delivered a head-scissors takedown on Humberto. Humberto fell to the outside. Dragon Lee delivered a splash over the top rope onto Humberto. Dragon Lee then threw Humberto back into the ring, and Dragon Lee ended up landing a crossbody. So Dragon Lee ended up going for the cover. Humberto ended up kicking out. Dragon Lee then locked in an armbar on Humberto. Of course, Humberto ended up getting out of it. He then threw Dragon Lee to the ropes. Angel then lowered the middle rope, and Dragon Lee ended up falling to the outside. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Rey Mysterio was in control. He delivered a head-scissors takedown onto Angel. Rey climbed the top rope. He ended up landing a seated senton on Angel. Rey then ended up going for the cover. Humberto came in and broke up the pin. Rey threw Humberto to the outside. Angel then ended up going for a double underhook suplex, but Rey reversed that, and Angel ended up falling onto the second rope. Rey then tagged Dragon Lee in. Rey ended up hitting Angel with the 619. Dragon Lee then ended up hitting Angel with the Project Dragon. He then ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio ended up winning the match. Post-match, we had, Carlito and Zelina Vega, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde. They end up coming in to celebrate. And then out came Santos Escobar and Elektra Lopez. Santos ended up saying that he is many things, but a liar he is not. He ended up saying when he said he did not attack Dragon Lee before WrestleMania, he meant it. He ended up saying that Elektra Lopez has been working for weeks to track down the security footage from that evening. So Santos ended up telling Rey what he is about to see, he will find it very interesting. So then we saw the security footage, and Carlito ended up attacking Dragon Lee from behind in that security footage. He ended up throwing Dragon Lee into a garage door, and, Carlito was just beating down on Dragon Lee, and that was when Carlito was like, "Oh, we need help! We need help!" So then we went back to the ring. Carlito pushed Rey down, and he ended up attacking Dragon Lee from behind. Zelina Vega then threw her slipper at Carlito. Carlito ended up leaving the ring. He jumped the barricade, and pretty much that was basically that. But I called this. I knew that Carlito was the one that attacked Dragon Lee. Carlito ended up turning heel here, and this is going to be good for Carlito. Carlito, as a babyface, since returning, he's been on a losing streak, so this is going to benefit Carlito, being, a heel. Carlito always worked the best at being a heel. So this is going to suit Carlito. Hopefully, with this turn here, Carlito starts winning more matches. I prefer Carlito as a heel than a babyface, because that's what he always worked the best. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had Bron Breakker versus Cedric Alexander. You all know how this match ended. Bron Breakker ended up getting the win. Bron ended up spearing Cedric Alexander. So your Bron Breakker squash match here. But I even forgot that Cedric Alexander was still employed. When was the last time Cedric Alexander was on TV? Is he going to be the next on the list of budget cuts? And then we saw Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ended up leaving his office. Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy time, stopped Nick Aldis. And Stratton ended up telling Aldis that she dropped Naomi and Bayley last week. So Stratton ended up asking Aldis when her match is against Bayley. Nick Aldis ended up saying that it's not Tiffy time on his watch, and that he was going to send her to the back of the line until someone gave him the idea of having Tiffany against Naomi later on in the night. And the winner will face Bayley at Backlash for the Women's Championship. So Tiffany ended up asking Aldis whose stupid idea that was. And in came Bayley. So Stratton ended up telling Bayley that she can be at ringside for her win tonight. So that was basically that. So we had Stratton versus Naomi later on in the night. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had the second round picks in the draft. Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson end up announcing the second round draft picks. Michelle McCool ended up announcing the SmackDown picks. Tori Wilson ended up announcing the Raw picks. So these were the second round picks. SmackDown ended up picking Randy Orton. Raw ended up picking Bron Breakker, which that was a surprise. So Bron Breakker's going to be doing, good on Monday Night Raw, hopefully. They're going to give him a push. They should. SmackDown ended up picking Nia Jax. God. And Raw ended up picking Liv Morgan. So out of these picks, Bron Breakker was the surprise for me. Bron Breakker's going to Monday Night Raw. And then we saw Paul Heyman backstage. And in came a black SUV. Paul Heyman stood there for a few seconds. He ended up apologizing, and he opened the car door. And out stepped Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Sikoa ended up asking Paul Heyman if the Bloodline has gotten drafted, to which Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa, not yet. Sikoa then ended up asking Heyman to give him all the details. Paul Heyman ended up saying to Sikoa that Roman was excluded from the draft. And he ended up telling Solo Sikoa that he is adding new members to the Bloodline. And with all due respect, no one knows what they are getting when they draft the Bloodline. Tama Tonga then stepped in, and Sikoa ended up asking Paul Heyman to repeat what he said one more time. So then we saw Kevin Owens. He ended up attacking Tama Tonga from behind, and they were just going at it. Officials end up coming there to break it up between Owens and Tonga. Crazy, brawl there between Owens and Tonga there. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton was standing in front of the ramp. And she ended up introducing Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair ended up coming out. Kayla Braxton ended up congratulating Bianca on being the first overall pick. Bianca ended up saying that at Backlash, her and Jade Cargill will take on the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Bianca ended up saying that she hopes Jade gets drafted to SmackDown on Monday. She ended up saying that Jade is the perfect person to help her take down Damage Control. So Bianca ended up saying that once they take the titles away from the Kabuki Warriors, they won't even have a reason to show up on SmackDown. So that led to Asuka and Kairi Sane coming out. So we had Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Bianca. They were arguing with each other. Jade Cargill ended up coming out. So we had both teams were face-to-face arguing. And while both teams were arguing, we saw Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga fighting through the entrance ramp and in between both teams. So Owens and Tonga end up fighting into the ring. Owens then delivered a double leg takedown on Tonga, but out came Solo Sikoa. Sikoa ended up attacking Owens from behind, and Sikoa and Tonga end up double teaming on Owens. Officials then end up running down, but Tonga end up attacking the officials. Randy Orton end up coming out. Randy Orton then walked to the ring. Orton ended up hitting Tama Tonga with a clothesline. Orton ended up going for RKO on Sikoa, but Sikoa ended up pushing Orton away, and he ended up leaving the ring. Orton ended up chasing Sikoa, but officials ended up grabbing Orton, and the officials were separating both teams, and pretty much that was basically that. But overall, I thought this was a crazy, brawl between Owens, Sikoa, Tonga, and Orton. But, liked it. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had the third round picks in the draft. And the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, end up coming out. Fans were chanting ECW and we want tables. And both Bubba Ray and Devon end up wearing their Dudley glasses, which was cool. Nice little throwback. So Bubba Ray was picking for SmackDown. Devon was picking for Raw. So these were the third round picks. SmackDown picked LA Knight. Yeah. Raw picked Ricochet. SmackDown picked Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. The Bloodline. Of course, the Bloodline was going to be staying on SmackDown. And Raw ended up picking Sheamus. So, wasn't surprised by any of these. And then we had Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. Number one contenders match. The winner gets to face Bayley for the Women's Championship at Backlash. And this was a meh match here. So Bayley was on commentary during the match. Naomi ended up delivering some right hands to Stratton. She ended up throwing Stratton to the ropes, but Stratton ended up rolling to the outside. Naomi ended up going to the outside. She ended up pinning Stratton with some right hands. Naomi ended up slamming Stratton face first onto the ring apron. Naomi ended up going for a splash off the top rope. Stratton moved out of the way, and Naomi ended up landing on her feet, to which that led to Stratton delivering a hip attack on Naomi. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Naomi delivered a sunset flip cover on Stratton, but Stratton ended up kicking out. Naomi ended up delivering a head scissors slam on Stratton. She ended up going for the cover, and Stratton ended up kicking out. So both Naomi and Stratton ended up running to the ropes, and both Stratton and Naomi ended up slamming into each other onto the canvas. So Stratton ended up going for a suplex. Naomi started kicking Stratton away. And then, out of nowhere, Nia Jax ended up attacking Bayley on the outside from behind. Naomi ended up seeing that. She ended up going to the outside. Nia Jax ended up pushing Naomi into the ring post, and the ref called for the bell. So the match ended in a no contest. So post-match, Nia Jax ended up slamming Bayley onto the outside. Stratton ended up throwing both Naomi and Bayley into the ring, and she ended up placing them next to each other. Stratton ended up going to the top, and she delivered the prettiest moonsault ever onto both Naomi and Bayley. And pretty much that was basically that. So we're going to get a fatal four-way at Backlash for the Women's Championship. You have Nia Jax, Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. Maybe. Nia Jax being thrown into this. Can you believe this? And then we saw the Street Profits and B-Fab backstage. Dawkins was wearing the Bengals jersey. Byron Saxton ended up coming in. B-Fab ended up telling Byron that next week they will become new WWE Tag Team Champions. So that led to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller coming in. Waller ended up telling Dawkins that they are champions, something the Bengals know nothing about, which that got boos from the crowd. So Bobby Lashley stepped in, and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller ended up walking off. Pretty much that was basically that. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw Karrion Kross and Scarlett. They were outside of the arena, and there was noise going on in the background. Karrion Kross ended up bringing the camera behind him, and we saw the Final Testament. They ended up attacking, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, New Catch Republic, and Karrion Kross ended up saying that they will continue to rule, whether they are on Raw or SmackDown. So that was what Karrion Kross had to say. And then we had the fourth round picks in the draft. We had Theodore Long, Teddy Long, and JBL, do the picks. Theodore Long, of course, did the picks for SmackDown. Of course, he was the former general manager of SmackDown back in the day. Holla, 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 player. It's a tag team match. And of course, JBL did the picks for Raw. So these were the fourth round picks. SmackDown picked AJ Styles. Raw picked the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, Otis Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. SmackDown picked Andrade. Not surprised by that, because who knows, if his wife Charlotte is going to remain on SmackDown. And then Raw picked Kiana James from NXT. So Kiana James made up to the main roster. And Kiana James, I think she's decent in the ring. I've seen her matches when she was down there in NXT. So then we went to the Performance Center in Florida. Jackie Redmond was talking with Kiana James. So Kiana James ended up telling Jackie that it means the world to her, but she knows that every decision she has made has brought her to this moment. She ended up saying that she is ready to show Raw that she is the 1%. And Shawn Michaels, who runs NXT, comes there to congratulate Kiana James. And, that was that. Always good to see Shawn Michaels, make a little appearance, here and there. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton was backstage with Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ended up telling Kayla Braxton that he feels good about their selection and that the future is bright and he can't wait for the new recruits to show up. So Nick Aldis ended up saying that 2 new matches have been added to Backlash in France. He ended up saying that Bayley will defend the Women's Championship against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Okay, so we're getting a triple threat match. Like I said, before, we might get a fatal 4-way with Nia Jax being included. That is not the case. They got Nia Jax won't be in this. So in came Teddy Long, and he up announcing that the Bloodline will take on Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. A tag team match, player! Holla, holla, holla! So, those are the 2 matches that are going to be taking place at Backlash next Saturday. Main event, Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes. And this was a good match. So it was a good main event here. Carmelo's, first match as a SmackDown superstar here. So the match got underway. We had a Cody chant end up picking up from the crowd. Cody delivered a right hand to Carmelo Hayes, but Carmelo delivered a right hand back to Cody. Cody then delivered a clothesline to Hayes. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Cody was in control of the match. He locked in the headlock on Hayes in the middle of the ring. Hayes ended up getting out of the headlock. He ended up hitting Cody with a chop to his chest. Cody delivered some forearms to Hayes' face. He ended up running to the ropes, but Hayes ended up delivering an elbow to Cody. So Hayes then delivered some right hands and a chop to Cody's chest. Cody ended up throwing Carmelo in the corner, started stomping away on him, and then Cody delivered a backdrop on Hayes. Cody ended up grabbing Hayes, but Hayes delivered a facebuster on Cody. Carmelo Hayes ended up jumping off the second rope, and he landed a DDT on Cody. He ended up going for the cover, and Cody ended up kicking out. So Hayes ended up grabbing Cody, but Cody ended up rolling Hayes up. Hayes ended up kicking out. Cody then delivered the disaster kick on Hayes. He ended up going for the cover, and Hayes kicked out. We had Cody deliver a power slam on Hayes. He ended up going for the cover, and Hayes ended up kicking out. Cody then hit the Cody cutter, went for the cover. Hayes kicked out. So Cody ended up going for the crossroads. Hayes ended up landing on his feet, and Hayes ended up hitting Cody with the first 48. Hayes ended up jumping off the top rope. Cody moved out of the way as Hayes ended up landing on his feet. So both Cody and Hayes delivered springboards off the second rope, and they ended up missing each other. And Cody ended up hitting hard on the canvas. He ended up hitting his arm, which he ended up hurting. So hopefully, Cody is not hurt, after, this spot here. So Cody ended up holding his shoulder. Carmelo ended up grabbing Cody, but Cody ended up hitting him with the crossroads. Cody ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Cody Rhodes ended up winning the match. Post-match, Cody celebrated on the top rope. Cody then turned around, and Styles was in the ring. So both Cody and Styles were face-to-face And that's how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, good main event between Cody Rhodes and Carmelo Hayes here. At the end, Cody was holding his shoulder. He looked, like he was hurt by the look on his face. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully Cody's not hurt after that spot there, missing that springboard off the second rope. But this is only a first loss for Carmelo Hayes. This doesn't hurt Carmelo Hayes considering this is his first match as a SmackDown superstar. But going into this, we all knew that Cody was going to win the match. But overall, SmackDown was an okay show tonight, and the draft, in my opinion, so far on tonight's SmackDown, it was just awful. Aside from Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker going to Monday Night Raw, and Kiana James, coming to SmackDown, this whole draft so far has been predictable and awful, in my opinion. Boy, do I miss the days, when I was a kid when the draft was first started, where they were on the stage, they had the tumbler, they would roll the tumbler around, go into the tumbler, pick out, a superstar name, and announce it. And that, gave off the surprise. We were surprised when, a certain superstar was drafted to a different brand, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. I wish they would do, that again. But of course, the same old shit that they do with the draft, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We need a change for the draft. Bring back the tumbler and let us be all surprised again. With them, announcing the draft for recent years, it's like, okay, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm yawning because I know it's predictable. That's why I did that yawn. It's absolutely predictable. Hopefully, this Monday on Raw, it'll be a little bit better. But knowing me, my expectations will be low. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and my next video will be a movie review. It's been a while since I did a movie review. The last movie review I did was Argyle. It'll be a movie review of Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire. And I saw it, earlier today. So it'll be a review on that. So until that video, I'll see you all later.